All right, welcome back to the Bessemer and Lake Erie and HO scale. I'm Ray Brown. Uh, Quick update. Not a whole lot going on being here dead in the middle of marching band season. Kids are doing great this year. Been working on track power and turnout control and everything else here at Conneaut. And got all the turnouts working. About halfway through getting the frogs powered, but thought I'd stop and share the current state of progress. Hopefully I can video this and not derail. So I put keepers, keep alives in all my locomotives, but I found that when you get into a kind of a serious set of ladders like here in the yard, it still is pretty nice to power the frogs, just for really solid operation. And the way I did this, instead of just kind of doing a traditional panel, for any switch, if you follow the points straight forward, you'll find a button in these little 3D printed setups I did with the guitar pedal double pull, double throw switch, so I can just throw that, and that switch I'll throw over. That is TCS with scale sound speaker in Walther's unit. This was painted by Bessemer Mike. He does really nice work. So then that switch will come forward. I think it's this button. There we go. And I'll just kind of duck this guy into the runaround, just for demonstration's sake. That track's really only intended to run around your cabin. But if I close that switch, I've got that little passing track set up on power routing. So if both the switches are closed, that track is dead. Kind of the same thing over here with my engine tracks and caboose track. Kind of can see I got the beginning of my little coal unloading shed I'm working on there. But if I, let's see, this button? Yep. I should have opened that switch and grabbed the 990 here. So all fast track switches, all code 70, and all number 6. Nice thing about modeling the transition era, shorter equipment, number 6 switches work just fine. Oh, about to run that switch, I think. Yep. So I'll grab the scrap train. And we'll line us out through the ladder here. Oh, not that switch. Not that switch. And looks like we're lying down to here. Take that one. And that one. And that one needs to straighten out. And we'll get that crossover. Alright, I think that lines us. Alright. All that came out smooth enough. And I've got everything just shoved out of places here, so it looks like we hooked on to my work train. Didn't mean to do that. So, let's see if we can shove back through all that craziness. So, that's a number 8 crossover. Into another number 8 crossover. Into a number 6 diverging. Into another number 6 diverging. Into a whole series of number 6 facing points. And then into a crossover here for what'll probably be a runner at the back. And the SD7 is a proto model I just worked on here a video or two ago. Been using it as a test locomotive over here in Conneaut, along with the SW7, the 080, and the 210-2, running through all these switch ladders. So what I got left to do here, I got, I don't know, 7 or 8 more switches I gotta get frog power hooked up to. Um, and then once I do that, I gotta do the rest of these. The rest of these buttons, I gotta hook up this indicator light like I did this one, where that's showing me position of the switch. And then once I get all that done, I'm going to come in and just, paint all the track and move on to the next project, which will probably be the North Bessemer end. So this has just been a mountain of work. It's always more work than you think it's going to be, between hand building the switches and then wiring it all. Oh, there was one other thing I did. The yard tracks I did have as power routing with the switches, but it got a little convoluted because if a switch at either end was open, the track was powered. And, they're just so far apart, it got to be a little bit confusing. So I ended up just go ahead and rewiring it all and made this little panel. In fact, we'll back the scrap train up here right to the very end of track. And I'll go ahead and shut it off. So that wasn't too bad to do, just because I'm using all the little toggle wire clips. See, do I have one handy here? Probably not. Of course, I would mention something and then not have one handy. Well, I suppose I can just show you. Or maybe not. Huh. Oh, maybe here we go. Yeah, these guys. Get these on Amazon. They're dirt cheap. And boy, they can save you a lot of work, especially if you start changing your mind about how you're going to wire things. Or, you get under the layout and just clip things together. You don't have to solder upside down. But that'll get the Conneaut end done, along with the coal unloading and the Hewletts and some engine tracks, and that gets this pretty much done track work wise. I think it'll look pretty good once it's even just painted just to this level. And then I just got to come down, and the North Bessemer end's pretty much going to be a mirror image. It's just, instead of the docks, we've got, the engine terminal and the piggyback ramp. And then I'm going to have just a little, 2 or 3 track interchange for miscellaneous freight, and the Union going off into the tunnel there. So anyway, that's what I've been up to. Hopefully, we get in November, I'll get back into spending more time down here, but it's been kind of nice, honestly, a project like this, just being able to chip away at it a little bit here, a little bit there, because it's definitely tedious work, but I like it. It's I definitely like doing the fast track switches. I'll never stop saying enough good things about them. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. Alright, hope you guys are enjoying end of summer. Catch you next time here on the HS Gale, Bessemer and Lake Erie.